For those of you who don't know me, my name is JJ Smith. I'm a senior here at Danville High School, 17 years old. I come from a relatively large family. I have two older brothers. One's 29. He's the one second to the left. His name's Dominic. I have another 26-year-old brother. His name is Joey. He's the one all the way on the right. I have an older sister who's 22. Her name's Alyssa. She's the one all the way on the left. I also have a younger brother, Jacob, 15. Kind of looks exactly like me. You can't really miss him. He's here today. Yeah. And then those are my two parents in the middle. Yeah, and if you didn't know, I play baseball here. This is going to be my third year on the varsity team, which is great. I'm kind of sad. It's my last season. You know, it's coming to an end, but I'm excited for this season and see what it has to offer. These are my friends. It's kind of a blurry picture, can't really see. There's Toto at the bottom. My friend Caitlin's sleeping in the middle. My brother at the top. The other Caitlin under Jacob. My friend Kennedy. Kira above Caitlin who's sleeping. Natalie. Some more of my friends. This picture was taken sophomore year. Adrian, Noam, Ahmad, Giovanni, Rob, Brandon, Natalie, and honestly, you guys aren't up here. I'm sorry, but I just want to let you know. Appreciate you guys. And if there's anything you know about me, there's one thing I love most in this world over anyone. My brother, my family, this is my dog, Dog. And then let's talk about the biggest reason I'm up here today. It's for those two people in my family picture in the middle right there. My dad and my mom. My dad, growing up, he came from a single parent household, you know, and he became a very successful firefighter. And the biggest thing that they both taught me was discipline growing up. My mom also. She had both my older brothers right at a very young age. She had my oldest brother, Dominic, when she was still in high school, and my older brother, Joey, when she was in her first couple years of college. And she became an ER nurse, right? Which I think is two very successful careers for my parents. And the biggest thing they taught me was discipline. You know, you can't get anywhere in life without discipline. Now you might be asking, what does discipline mean, Jimmy? There's two definitions when you search it up, which is the first one is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. It's all right. You know, the second one is the quality of being able to behave and work in a controlled way, which involves obeying particular rules or standards. These are both okay, but my favorite one doing research for this presentation was discipline is ignoring something you want right now for something better later on. You might not get what that means right now, but as we get more into the presentation, you'll understand. So now you might be asking me, why is discipline so important? The biggest thing my parents stressed over the years, you know, I didn't really get it at first, but as I matured, especially this past summer, the biggest thing I learned is discipline is the strongest form of self-love. Not only that, it reveals the commitment I have to my dreams. Right now, my dream is baseball, you know, and if I want to become the best baseball player I can be, I have put in the time, I've put in the effort, and we'll get more into that later as the presentation goes on. The last one is the future you depending on the current you to keep the promises to you that you made to yourselves yesterday. You know, no one else is going to want it for you. No one else is going to want the dreams you have set for yourselves. No one else will want the goals you have set for yourself. You have to do it for yourself. And that's one of the biggest reasons biggest principles I grew up on. And I realized that growing up, I had three main excuses of why I didn't have self-discipline, why I didn't go for my dreams. First one was, I always said I didn't have time. Right? And I feel like that's a big thing in this age. You know, I spent a lot of time, especially during quarantine, you know, played a lot of video games. Madden, Fortnite, you know, Rocket League, whatever, you can name it. It's kind of a little embarrassing stat. I have accumulated over 114 days on Fortnite, which is a little over 2,000 hours. Kind of embarrassing, I know. But I started to realize after quarantine and after my junior year, and I started to realize that baseball was actually coming to an end, that I started to look at life differently once I heard this. You know, say, for example, you have a bank account, okay? Now, at the start of each day, once you wake up, you have $84,600 in your bank account, right? You go throughout the day, you spend as much money as possible, right? You wouldn't waste a second, because once you sleep, that money's gone. Money doesn't carry over to the next day, doesn't earn any interest, right? And then once you wake up again, you get another $84,600. And I started to look at it, and I was like, what does this have to do with anything? What does this have to do with anything? But then I realized there's 84,600 seconds in each day, right? So I started to think to myself, why would I waste time? And the biggest reason I would waste time is because I wouldn't make sacrifices for myself, which is the next reason. You could go back to a year ago today, and I thought this last year of baseball would be my last. I thought after the season I would go on to college, you know, study what I want, and I would stop playing baseball because I wasn't as committed to it. But what happened, you know, going into last season, there weren't very high expectations of me. I was a junior, you know, I was supposed to be like the fourth guy, but some injuries happened, and I ended up being one of the top contributors on my team. We ended up beating South Hills and Walnut, which hadn't happened in a couple years for us, which is big. And then after that, I would only put in time last year when everyone was looking at me. You know, like I would only put in time at work or During baseball, while my coaches were there, you know, in the weight room, I would barely do anything. I would only do it while my coaches were watching. I would put in the bare minimum amount of work. And I still had a lot of success that season. And what I realized is, I finally committed to myself, right? I wanted to see how much work I could put in to see how much I could succeed. If I had so much success last season by putting in the bare minimum, I had to imagine what could I do, right? Would I put in a lot more work? You know, I committed myself to this. And finally, I had that goal, right? But it was hard because you saw those guys in the last picture, right? The picture from my sophomore year of all the guys by the picture we took. And like I said, I committed to myself this summer. You know, I started going to the gym a lot more. I started working on my craft, perfecting my craft in baseball, hanging out with different friends. And those guys, you know, as much as I love them to dear. They're a big reason why I'm up here today, you know. I had to stop hanging out with them. I stopped responding to their messages because I had bigger dreams. And they started creating separate group chats without me. They started, I saw them going out, you know, posting on social media, and I started to realize, like, is everything I'm doing worth it? Right? Because I started, and which leads to my next thing, is results. I wasn't seeing immediate results right away, especially in the gym. I didn't see, like, first week, I didn't see any results. Second week, you know, saw a little bit, a month in, maybe a little bit more, but I started to think to myself, was it worth it? Was it worth missing all these hangouts with my friends? Was it worth it, like, just lessening my friendship with them for a better tomorrow? But I realized that I can't expect immediate results right away. I started to look at it like this. I had a goal in mind, which is to become the best baseball player I could be, but I started to realize, like, after a little bit, it's going to be a long process. It's not just going to be a straight shot, which a lot of people think, no matter what you want to do. Whether that be the best student you want to be, you know, you can't just put an hour into studying each week. You have to put at least like 10, you know, but like split it up into each day. And, or some people think it looks like this, you know, point A, start on the left, point A, B, you hit a little bump in the road, right, and then you're well on your way to your goal. That's just not how it works. In reality, it looks a lot like this, right? Point A, right, you're going to get knocked down, there's going to be unexpected turns in life. But it's all a matter of how you respond. And once you reach that goal, right, I'm nowhere close to reaching my goal. I'm still on my journey, you know, but I know that journey behind me, all those squiggly lines back there, that journey will make me a better person. It'll make me who I want to become, and it'll make me the best baseball player I can be. And for me, no matter, like I said, no matter what you want to do, you want to become the best student you can be, the best father you can be, when you grow up, you know, the best sports, no matter what sport you play. You have the ability, right? It's just a matter of how much work you want to put into yourself. And I'm going to leave you with one thing. You might be asking, JJ, like, what if I'm not ready? And that was the hardest thing for me. I didn't know if I was ready to commit because I wasn't seeing the results right away, like I said. I wasn't ready, you know, I was stepping into uncharted territory. I was doing something I had never done before, which was finally committing to the sport I love, the sport I fell back in love with. And it was hard, but like I said, I lost friendships, lost opportunities, I lost a lot of things. I was stepping into uncharted territory. It was very uncomfortable at first. I felt like I was losing a lot more than I was going to gain. And I started to see the results, once I kept putting in the discipline every day, once I kept sticking with my plan, right? You're not going to see immediate results right away. You're not going to be ready. You're not supposed to have all the answers, and that's the biggest thing I have to get. And the reason I realized is because discipline is what makes me great. Discipline is what's going to make me great. Discipline is what can make any of you great. And I believe each and every single one of you in this room has the power to be great. It's just a matter of how great you want to be. Thank you.